Okay, so welcome to another episode of Connection with Jennifer Aaliyah. And I am super excited to have Katie Hornor here today. She's been a huge influence on me personally and professionally, and a great mentor and friend. And so thank you, Katie, for being on here and welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's so much fun to be with you anytime.
Thank you. It's been like several years that we've known and worked together in different capacities. And I'm still in your Queens program. And I just love getting to sit down and talk to you and find out more about what you're doing. So could you tell everybody a little bit about how you got started in helping people with marketing?
Our official career started actually as missionaries, and we were funded through charitable donations. Came to Mexico to do mission work in a couple different capacities. And then as the Lord rearranged our paths, as he often does, we ended up realizing we needed to start a business to support ourselves if we wanted to stay and fulfill the dream we had of living and working in Mexico. And so you're still here today. I'll just tell you the end of the story really quickly. We still live and work in Mexico. And anyway, but that led to us starting a business in the homeschool curriculum field in the Spanish language. And a couple years into that, around 2014, we started taking what we learned with starting that business and using it to coach English speaking entrepreneurs online. And so we started with a coaching program, the blog. We've had podcasts through the years. We published tons of books, another one coming out in July, and the coaching programs that we have now are our course formula course, our Master Teacher Accelerator coaching program, and the Queen's Mastermind that you mentioned already.
Yes, and I'm very excited about the book, which we will get to again later in the interview. So you mentioned about how you're mentoring and helping English speaking entrepreneurs. Could you tell us more about exactly how you help them and who it is that would be, like an ideal fit for what you're doing?
Well, like most people, I started out saying, I help anybody who wants to learn. And I very quickly realized that you have a hard time to distinguishing yourself for anything when you serve everyone. And yes, there are lots of different types of people that we can serve, but I feel like we have been especially equipped to be able to help those who are believers in their personal faith, who have a business of coaching other people or an online course business. And so we focus primarily on that realm, Christians or believers whose faith is very important to them, and helping them maximize their marketing efforts with growing their online course or coaching business.
Excellent. So this show is all about connections. And I know that you are very passionate in building connections and building community. Could you tell me a bit about what connection means to you in business?
Well, as with most things in business, I think it goes back to what you believe. And community is one of the three core values that we hold the dearest in our business. And I believe that that's a pattern that we see from God. There's community within the Trinity. There's community within all the social systems that God ordained. And so where would we be in business without community, right? And so those connections come when we get to know the others that God has placed in our sphere of influence, and we're able to use our gifts and talents to benefit them, and likewise be the beneficiaries of them using their gifts and talents to serve us and others in the world. And I think that's the way that God created it, and it's the way that we all flourish the best. And so connections for me is looking to see, who's in my sphere of influence? Who do I get to touch on a regular basis? Who do I get to interact with or overlap with in terms of the audiences that I'm serving? And then how can I serve them? I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. I believe that, we're all out here serving the same kinds of people, and there will be some in your audience, Jennifer, that may not be able to learn from you, but might be able to learn from me, and vice versa. I know there's some in my audience that just haven't resonated. They've been on my list for years and years and years and maybe never bought. And so when I collaborate with you and I'm able to recommend you to my people, you may be the perfect one to teach them what they need to learn. And so looking for those people that we can wholeheartedly align with and recommend to the people that we serve, and then you doing the same, it just helps us help everyone. And in that way, we do get to serve everyone in our business, right? and by recommending and sending them out to other people. So definitely community for collaboration is huge in our business.
Yes, and you brought up about, sometimes you're not the right person for everybody. And so what I've learned from you is that there are always people out there who are looking just for you. I tell people all the time, there's a million people doing exactly what you do. Like, you are not unique in what you do, but the way that you do it and the people that you serve and the way that you serve them is what makes you unique. And when you share those things, that's when people gravitate to you. But also, speaking to what you said, it's not necessarily the person that's right in front of you. Sometimes we get caught up in that, having that right person right in front of us. But many times it's the person that they know or who they're connected to that will bring people in, and build that community. And communities are not built just in a linear fashion, right? They're kind of messy the way they're built, but when they come together, it's the coming together that makes them powerful, and that the differences coming together and collaborating together that make it powerful. So, what do you think has helped as far as connection and community in marketing your business and growing it to where it is today?
One of the biggest struggles in marketing for anyone of any size is the visibility factor, which I know you are an expert in. But it's, how do I get seen by more people? How do I get more people to know about what I can do in the world? And that comes through connections. Like you said, there's only so much you can do on your own, even if you have an never ending ad budget, right? There's only so much you can do. And so by connecting with others, becoming visible to the people in your circle who can then recommend you to the people in their circles, like that really is where it is. And for us, a big part of how we've grown that is by speaking on people's stages, by attending events, by being on podcasts or interviewing other people on our podcast, and beginning to create those connections that says, hey, who do you serve? Who should I recommend come to you, and for what, right? And learning that, and then following up. You and I were talking right before we started this interview about a particular person that you have something that could help them. And so I want to connect you guys, right? And this just becomes a pattern. It's not necessarily like a to-do list or something you check off, but it becomes sort of this natural way that we interact with those in our business world, in that we're always sort of on the lookout for, oh yeah, I know somebody for that. And oh yeah, let me connect you. Let me introduce you. Or do you know somebody? I'm looking for this. And that natural exchange of the person resources that we have in our business just becomes a way that we continue to grow our business and grow the businesses of our friends.
Yes. And when I'm networking, I actually make two lists. I make a list of people I want to talk to for my own business, or because I think that we would be great to collaborate together, or they mention something that I feel like I can help them with, but also a list of, oh, this would be a perfect person for Katie to talk to, or this person has to talk to John or whatever. And I always have that list going, and people think, people have said to me, how did you think to connect us? I said, because I'm always listening. And when I'm listening, my mind is thinking, who do they need to talk to? Because I know how powerful that can be. So one last question. I know that you've built lots of communities, and is there something that has most significantly built those communities and connected people to you on a really deep level that you've done in your business that maybe in the beginning you weren't sure you wanted to do? People are sometimes afraid to take that step to reach out, but now has definitely produced great fruit.
One of the things for us has been our retreats or our events that we host. And, pre-COVID, we used to do live retreats a couple of times a year and bring folks in and for a couple of days of training and networking and community. And then everything shut down, and we had to find an alternative way to do that. And so in 2020, we added a live event strategy, if you will, to our business, both for bringing people in to become customers, but also fulfillment events where we got to bring our own clients together in a virtual retreat setting and pour into them in a different way than our regularly scheduled activities allowed us to do. And that has been a huge thing for building community, both within our business and the larger audience community that we have, and bringing people in and doing that. And we now host a Christian marketing virtual retreat once a year. And then we also have one that's focused on course creation every spring. And it's a 3-day virtual event. Attend from anywhere that you have internet, and come and get the training. We're giving practical marketing training on these different topics, but we're doing it from the values foundation and the perspective of those who are our right fit in this world of faith. And so we're able to treat it as a retreat. And a lot of we called it a conference first, and then we called it a virtual event, and now we call them retreats because that's what our people started calling them. They're like, this feels like I just went to a Christian camp for the weekend kind of thing and got poured into. And so there is a great amount of refreshment and of focus on vision and mission and what we're all about, and just reminding you who you are and what your purpose is here in the world, as well as those practical applications to your business and how to grow it and serve your people better.
Yes, and I have gotten so much out of the events that I have been blessed to get to attend with you. So I know that it's always a great event, and I can go to the same event over and over again, and I always always leave with pages and pages of notes because I've learned something new. So we're going to wrap up. I would love for you to tell my audience first, how can they get in touch with you and connect with you? And also anything that you have to share that you'd like to give to the audience or let them know about that's coming up.
So our business website is handprintlegacy.com, and you can connect with us there and find me on all the socials at Katie Hornor, right? Our next event coming up, if you want to come experience our community and get some marketing training, handprintlegacylive.com has a place where you can go and reserve a free ticket. Reserve now, pay later. All the info, handprintlegacylive.com. That's our Christian marketing retreat, and the dates are July 7 to 9. And if you decide to upgrade to a VIP ticket, you'll also get a pre-release copy of our new book, Flamingo Marketing, that releases just after that event. So we're really excited about that and would love to get to know you and have you attend that event.
I am excited too. Well, thank you so much for being here, Katie. It was a pleasure to get to interview you. And I look forward to your book coming out and all the great things you are working on.
Thank you so much.